Party over here, party over there. Yes. All right, are we ready to do this thing? Hello and welcome. It is trainer Mary Beth Rockwell from the Next Fitness Thing, accompanied by our TNFT CEO and the executive producer of this fine program, Alexis Craig. And also we have a special guest we're going to be introducing. You want to pop in, Kacey? Let's pop in Kacey because Kacey's going to be hanging with us for the whole show. Kacey, we are so glad you're with us, one of our awesome teammates, and we're going to have you're going to stay with us for the entire show, right? You got the time?
Sure.
I am very excited about that. All right, so let's just give a rundown of what we're going to have for the rest of the show today. Let's see. We are going to, aside from chatting with Kacey, who is just awesome and checking in from Atlanta, we are going to dip into the TNFS Mailbag. And again, thank you to those of you who have submitted questions to us. They can be health and wellness. They might even be not health and wellness. We're open to all the questions, so kind of AMA-like. So if you have any questions for us, you can send yours to TNFT@thenextfitnessthing.com. We'd love to answer yours on the show and give you a shout out. We will have some movement opportunities for you. The mid-show stretch break is actually a mobilizing one. And then the move of the week will also, actually the move of the week is standing and then the stretch is moving. Go figure. Stay tuned for news. We have a lot of upcoming attractions for you at the Next Fitness Thing, so we'll fill you in on those. And if we got time, we'll slip in our TNFT food of the week. We always want to save time for some dessert, and that may be the case this time around. So please, if you've not already done so, you know what's coming. I ask you with love. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you've not already done so, and like our material, share our videos, and make sure you click the notification icon. That's that little bell, and that will give you a notification whenever we put anything new up on the Next Fitness Things YouTube channel, so you never miss anything. All right. So if you were with us live, we are so grateful that you took time out of your day to join us. And of course, hi to everybody who's watching the recorded version of this as well. Glad you're here too. Drop your reactions if you're in the chat with us. Let us know where you're checking in from, all the things, what you're doing this weekend. We want to hear it all. And you can, of course, find our wellness platform at thenextfitnessthing.com. We hope you, if you're not already joining us to work out with us, come work out with us because it's way fun and very supportive, as is our Facebook group as well, which is facebook.com/groups/@thenextfitnessthing. All right. All the housekeeping is now taken care of, I think. Let's bring in Kacey's on the board. Kacey's on the screen. Yay! Oh. Look at you. I love your backdrop there. Your background is just, we were talking a little bit earlier before we started the show. It's just very, very
symmetrical.
Symmetrical is what that's what we were talking about. It's like everything's balanced, right? Perfectly. So Kacey, welcome. We're so grateful that you are joining us. Happy to have you on the board. And let's find out a little bit more about Kacey, shall we? Your story first, a little bit of your background, and then how you found your way to us here at the Next Fitness Thing.
Oh, my story in general. So I was born in Kentucky, spent most of my childhood in Kentucky, and then I went to grad school outside Chicago. So I have a master's in economics and finance, and so that's what I do in my daily life. I do analytics and data stuff and pricing and all the number things. So that is kind of what I was doing, and then I was lucky enough to join a different platform through my employer, which is how I found all of you. And then I stuck around. So I really enjoyed the community aspects, the fact that, I could have a live trainer, but be in my house. So there were so many things that were highlights for me that I just couldn't give up. And then I stuck around once we came over to the Next Fitness Thing. So definitely all of the different modalities too for me. I had always done weight training and traditional HIIT workouts, and I had never experienced being able to do Pilates and bar and all those things in different in the same place. So that was something else that was really exciting, at least for me in my own fitness journey, that I could have a kind of a one-stop shop, and then also start incorporating walking too. So all great things.
Super cool. And you've been active. You kind of alluded to it. You've been active for a long time, most of your life, actually. So what did you do before you came to us, aside from, you mentioned the strength training and the HIIT?
Yeah. I grew up playing sports. So I played softball pretty competitively. So I was preparing to be a college athlete. And then I had a hip injury that it wasn't necessarily in my best interest to keep doing that. So
Understood.
I grew up lifting weights and doing all sorts of stuff like that. And then I started getting into yoga because I have anxiety, and it was something that has helped me figure out a better way to balance things. And it also, besides just being like physically fun, was something that kind of helped me keep a wrap on things that was a good habit for me to get into. So that is another thing that I have enjoyed, like activity wise, but also just like as a person. And so I'd say that was one thing too that has always drawn me to like activity. It was an easy way for me to help manage stress and help keep things in the noodle a little more straight.
I love that you are very open to communicating about some of the issues that you have as far as like the anxiety and stuff. And please, we don't want, intend on you to overshare anything, but whatever you're comfortable with, of course, we're happy to hear about. And then I wanted to ask you as well, I know you work out on a pretty regular basis now, but what is the biggest challenge, if you had to pick one, maybe two, as far as staying consistent with your workout and your wellness routine? And when you hit those speed bumps, how do you get over them?
Yeah. So the funny thing is for me, like exercise is a way I manage stress, and I have to do it. So like, it's something that I try to commit to because I know it's better for me. So the funny thing is I'm motivated like for that reason. The things that tend to derail me are more like, I'll get tendinitis. I have a little bit of hypermobility. So sometimes I have to be open to not doing what I wanted to do. Sometimes it's like all or nothing. I wanted to lift weights, so if I can't do that, then I'm not going to do anything. So that's one thing for me was being open to trying other things and accepting that, like, if I can't lift weights, that doesn't mean do nothing. That means figure something else out.
Thank you. Amazing. Yeah. Yes.
That's definitely one of them. And then I think the other one would be, we were talking about this, I think, on a walk the other day. I really don't like going outside when it's rainy or not idyllic weather, really. And I have really terrible allergies. So like making myself go outside, I know is not necessarily going to always happen for me. So I have to think about, okay, if I want to do a walking thing, what are some options that do not involve getting wet or having pollen be everywhere? So that's something that I have to make a plan for things like that, because I know if something derails it, then I'm not going to stick to that for sure.
Yeah, you always manage a way though. I mean, even when it's like 110 degrees there in the summertime in Atlanta, you're still getting your workout in. And I'm just like, dang, Kacey, go for it. Okay. By the way, Team Hypermobile in the house. I think everybody that's on this show right now is Alexis, you too? Are you hypermobile?
I almost wish I could say yes to that one.
Oh, okay.
Kacey, I'd love for you to share what your plans are when it is inclement weather, because I remember you sharing that in class.
Yeah. So, I mean, I live in a condo, so I have a parking garage that is covered. So a lot of times if it's just an inclement weather thing, I will actually go walk in my parking garage, because then it's covered and it's not as cold. And guest appearance of cat. Then there's, it's a lot easier for me to deal with that. Plus I get the added benefit of some hills if you go up the ramps. So that's a nice,
figured it out.
Yeah. So I usually will do that if it's just rain. If it's pollen, I mean, I also have asthma, so I have to be kind of careful with those things. So I'll either, my building has a stairwell. So
don't mind us, we're watching the cat behind you, Kacey.
Right now, but my building has a stairwell, so I'll use that. Or, even if I just try to do like skaters or something in my house, indoor cardio, dance around and clean during a walk, at least I'm getting some like movement in. So that gets back to like the all or nothing thing for me, is like something is better than nothing. So I have to be okay with something, even if it's not what I wanted it to be, is better than nothing.
Ding, ding, ding. We hear you. All right. Amazing. And you've been in the garage in class with me many times. So I can vouch that Kacey's getting it done in the parking garage. All right. Yeah. So, Kacey, we're going to put part of the conversation on hold because we got some stuff to talk about later involving you and some of our other teammates as well that we're very excited to talk about a little bit later. So you're hanging with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do, in that case, it's mid-show stretch break time. Alexis, are we ready? This is a little hip opening opportunity for everyone. And we spend a fair amount of time on the show talking about how hips can get really tight because we're sitting. I'm sitting right now. We're all sitting on this show, but it really helps to get up and get that area moving, because tight hip flexors can cause low back issues and just all kinds of gnarliness in your midsection. So this, oh, look who it is. Who let her in? Geez. This is a standing hurdlers rotation. So it's basically you are standing up tall, your feet are about hip width apart to start, and you're doing this with us, right? Those of you who are watching, you better be, because we ain't, like I said, we aren't doing this for our health, it's for your health. So up, out, and down, like you're stepping over a low barrier. Bring it back to the middle, and you're alternating sides. So you're just kind of lubricating your hip joint a little bit and warming up that synovial fluid that helps keep things flowing in there. And you can make this knee circle as big or as small as it feels good to your body. Notice that in this video, I'm not opening up my hips too much to the side. It kind of helps to keep your hips square off and forward as much as possible, so you can get most of it into your hip joint and less rotation from your core, because you really want to hone your activity to where we're trying to open it up, and that's your hips right now. So are we all alternating? Did we all do both sides equally on that one? Just check in. Okay. All right. So that's an opportunity to open up your hips. It will come in handy for the move of the week a little bit later on. And I kind of alluded to it earlier. It is not technically even a move. It's a move. It's a pose. Hint, hint. All right. So let's move on from me and my standing hurdlers rotations. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we have on our schedule, Alexis, we're going to dip into the TNFS mailbag. And thank you again to everybody who's been sending us in some great questions. We're going to knock them out one by one as we can here. And maybe if we get enough at some point, we just could end up doing like an entire show of mailbag questions if it gets to that point. But for now, you can send yours in to tnft@thenextfitnessthing.com. And this week's question comes from Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Thank you for sending in this question. And this is a common one. So Jenny, I'm really glad you sent us this one. How do you build the strength for push-ups if you can't do even a modified push-up from your knees? I love talking about this subject because a lot of us think that we have to do it on the floor. And sometimes it's much better to start it not on the floor and then work your way down to another version. So Alexis and Kacey, feel free to chime in if either of you have anything. But I often tell my peeps that I'd much rather you start in a wall push-up with your hands on a wall. And we're going to have a video here shortly that shows kind of a bench push-up, or this is a low wall or a bench or a box, whatever you have to work with. So if you cannot do a push-up on your knees on the floor, you can probably do one standing up and then placing your hands on a wall. There's like the edge of my screen is a wall. So the same plank position that's showing on these videos, and these two guys are jamming. I'd slow down just a little if it were me, but that's me. Ears, shoulders, hips, and heels are all in a line there. You notice there was no belly sagging forward. There's no booty stick in the air. Those are some of the common things that can go awry when we see people doing these on the floor. And then you're lowering your whole body down in one straight line, hands against the wall, push it back and squeeze. Now, if I were to do this head on from my screen, my hands are about 45 degrees, elbows 45 degrees from my torso, and then elbows bend out to the sides. Here I am, hi, there I am, going away. So that's the form to focus on your pectoral muscles, and you really squeeze your armpits up against your torso at the top of the push-up, and that helps you accentuate this pectoral area right here. So then once you have that mastered, then you can start maybe working your way down. The next level might be your kitchen countertop. The next level might be the boxes that those guys were working on. Words aren't coming today, excuse me. And then maybe you can do these on your knees on the floor. Maybe you end up just doing them. And I don't say just doing them. You're still getting good things accomplished when you're doing it on an elevated surface. That's why we often say in our TNFT classes that have an elevated surface nearby in case you need it, right? So you never know. If you start on the floor and it's not right for you, come up higher. I'd rather you perfect a really good wall push-up than do 10 sloppy ones on the floor. That's my philosophy, right? So chime in, ladies. What you say?
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I mean, Aaron's in the chat saying, or the back of the couch works too. So yes,
back of the couch. I see Aaron doing back of the couch push-ups all the dang time and plank-based moves. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron.
I mean, I think the biggest thing for me on this is that to remember that the push-up is a moving plank. The plank is the most important part of the push-up. So whether or not you can actually do the push-up on the ground is not as important as maintaining the plank position, which means that you're keeping your body long and straight. And I love this idea of starting with the elevated surface, and then you slowly increase the angle, and then over time until you get down. The other thing that I just think is important to bring up with this too is that the way that you get the push up is to practice the resist down. So to get a push up, the way to get it is to start in the plank and to lower yourself down with control. I'm not talking like, boom. I mean, like, slowly lower yourself down. And if
fighting
you can
gravity,
right. So it's like, if you're keeping your body solid, and the other thing I just want to say with that is feet wider is easier. So when you're learning this, start with your feet wider so you're more stable. Squeeze your butt really tight because it helps you to keep your plank. And then over time, first, before you get lower and lower, start with your feet wide and get your feet closer together, closer together, closer together until you can do your feet together with a plank on the wall, and then go to the kitchen counter, feet apart. And then you get better, feet together, feet together, feet together, feet together, feet together. And then back of the couch, or whatever your progression is to get lower and lower.
Right, exactly. And I will say also that I occasionally I see some peeps in class doing a plank-based move like a push-up, for example, on a couch. And I'm going to say this again. I know I've said it before, but it's important. If it's something that's real cushy, like you have a real fluffy couch or something, it's not going to be real stable for your hands, and you're going to find you're like wobbling around. So you ideally want to find a stable, firm surface to place your hands on. So that you're not going, wait, I can't hold my plank. Well, that might be part of the reason.
I mean, I don't want to be like a hater on the knee push-up, because sometimes it's what's needed. Sometimes it is what's needed. But at the same time, I will say that when you put your knees down, you are disabling your plank. So if you put your knees down, your core is not firing as much as it is with your toes, and you're not really going to work toward a push-up on your toes as well as you are working the elevated surface. So that elevated surface push-up is way more beneficial as far as getting toward a push-up on your toes on the ground, and also for core strength, than the knee push-up is. So I always will encourage the elevated push-up over the knee push-up if it's possible. And I also understand there are circumstances where the knee push-up might be what you need to do at that moment. And that's okay too.
100% with you. Kacey, how do you feel about push-ups?
Hate them. I'm not super good at them, so I'm just going to take notes for this one for sure.
All right, cool.
I actually have some, I think I have been doing them at the wall because trying to focus on what you're talking about feeling my chest actually engaged too. But I think I have been working as well, getting my glutes to turn on. So I think you're probably right. I should stop putting my knees down because that way I can not keep encouraging that behavior. So, I probably will do those more often though.
This is like a real-time push-up workshop we got going on with Kacey right now. Thank you. All right. And thank you again, Jenny, for the questions. Is there anything else before we wrap up the push-ups and dip out of the mailbag? Are we moving on? We good? All right, sweet. So now we're on to our move of the week. We got your hips open earlier with the standing hurdlers. And now, since we have Kacey in here, who is a certified yoga teacher, as is Alexis as well. I'm on the outside looking in on this one. But our move of the week is tree pose, which involves a lot of core strength and a lot of balance. So I'm going to hand it off to Team Yogi on this one, and you guys can take this one over. So this is tree pose. A lovely model demonstrating this for us. So tree pose, what's the deal?
Tree pose.
You can go first, Kacey. Go for it.
Okay. So I think one of my big tips would be that when you move to balance on the one leg, not letting your hips become uneven is something that's super important. So shifting your weight over, but then maintaining the level of your hips is helpful. And then as you're balancing, finding, in yoga, we would say drishti, but finding a focus spot that isn't moving so that you can, visually, you're not being disturbed by other things moving around you. And then squeezing your thigh against your foot, wherever you put your foot. It doesn't have to be on your upper thigh. It can even be a toe stand, like a kickstand on the floor, but squeezing everything in towards your midline can also help balancing. And then I think the last thing would be just making sure you're really driving through your standing leg as well. So trying to make sure that you feel, driving through all four corners of your feet, but in particularly, like if you can feel your heel and then pulling on the front side, feel like you're lifting your kneecap so that you're getting that engagement through your standing leg will help.
Kacey, ladies and gentlemen, very nice.
Yay.
Well done on the tree pose.
Kacey's
All right.
awesome. Can't wait to take your yoga class.
I
That's
know,
great.
right? Me too.
Totally.
What you got, Alexis?
Kacey nailed it, honestly. I mean, this is a pose that can be very challenging. So I'm just going to add that if you find this pose challenging, yes, keeping this foot, I have the control of the mouse so I can show what she's talking about. So
there we go.
The foot that's elevated, you can just keep the toes touching the ground right there. I don't mean to say just. You can, and that still may be very challenging. The other thing, I love when you're talking about bringing the energy toward the midline. And what I imagine that looks like, at least for me, what that looks like is pressing the two palms into one another. If you are doing the hands here, pressing the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, really bringing the energy back towards center. So that helps a lot. And really the pieces for the balance, Kacey mentioned all of them. I'm just going to mention them again. Number one, ground your foot. So it's like you're gluing your foot to the ground. That is the most important piece. The second piece is to engage the standing leg, especially the glute. The glute is the center of the balance as far as like what is the glute medius is really in charge of balance, especially side to side balance. So squeezing your glute on this standing leg especially is very important. 3 is the gaze. Drishti in yoga is what we call it, and just looking at something not moving is really helpful. And then the other piece that helps me is just remembering that I don't have to hold still. It's not really about stillness. It's almost like surfing, where balance is an active thing, where you are working with balance. And this is the kind of thing where your body learns how to do it automatically. So coming back to it, like practicing it, resting from it, coming back to it, resting from it, coming back to it, that's how this improves. So if you try it the first time and you are not good at it, then that's okay. That's the first step of, actually practicing to get better. And balance is something, as we get more chronologically enhanced, that is something that's very important to prevent injury and to keep us able in our body and that all of that. And so a pose like this is really, really helpful for longevity.
I will vouch for that.
Out of it, if you've seen me do yoga or if you've ever had a class from me, I fall off this all the time. So it's not like that's not going to happen. It's totally okay. You just kind of recenter yourself and start over. Because I know I tend to be a little clumsy. So if it's totally fine to fall out of it and start back over.
Absolutely. Yeah. And on my end, I will say that I am rebounding from a hip issue that's been lingering for months, and it's getting better and better. I had a cortisone shot, and it's coming around. But the first time that I tried a yoga class on that hip, I was able to do the tree pose with no problem. And I was like, yes, that glute's coming back, baby. I'm so happy. So yeah, that was a full, well-rounded discussion of tree pose. So thank you, Teen Yogi. All right. Announcements. We got to get on the stick here because, wow, we got some things to talk about here that are coming to the Next Fitness Thing. And of course, if you are one of our Next Fitness Thing teammates, we send out a weekly newsletter that gets you up to date on all the things that are coming to our app and our wellness platform. But here's where you find them out first. So if you want to get the news first, you join us here on the Next Fitness Show. So the first thing I am very excited about is my Go Strong, Live Long challenge. We've been talking about this for a few weeks. Kacey's giving me the yay. I'm so glad this is finally here. It's been a lot of weeks in the making, and it's time to give birth to it on this Monday, April 8th. I keep saying the 4th, April 8th. And it's going to be a 4-week program. It is based on longevity and how we all need to do strength training. It's not my first choice. I'm going to be perfectly honest. If I have a choice between cardio and strength, I'll pick cardio every time, but I know how much better my body feels and how much stronger and able to do the things I want to do in life, how that all falls into place when I do proper strength training. So gostrong.thenextfitnessthing.com is the address you can go to if you have not signed up yet. We have multiple levels of this challenge. We went Olympic themed a little bit on this one. The bronze gets you all 12 of the base classes. They're Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, live, 4 p.m. Pacific time with me, and of course, recorded for replay if you can't make them live. Then the silver and gold tiers, you get the bonus limber longer stretch classes with me every Saturday. And those will be live 11 a.m. Pacific time and recorded for replay as well. We got a tank top and a water bottle in the swag department. You join the gold level, you get both of those. Tutorial videos, specially recorded for you. We've got a one-to-one training session with me in that gold level as well. There's the swag. We're getting a lot of comments already on the shirt, which is very cute. And we got a water bottle this time. Yay, check out that cool water bottle and the gray and the pink and the purple and everything. It's just, I'm a fan of this water bottle. So join us, please. All you need is some weights. There might be a resistance band class in there. So a loop resistance band every once in a while may come in handy. There are the classes. We got a lower body one day, upper body one day, cardio and core combined on Fridays. And then here are the comparisons as far as what you get at which level. Now, keeping in mind, for those of you who are founding members with us here at the Next Fitness Thing, and you joined us for this year at the supporter or the partner levels, this challenge is included for you in your membership at the base level. So everybody that's in that category gets the bronze class. And then if you decide you want to upgrade from there, you have that option to pay the difference. And then you can upgrade to the silver or gold level and get your swag and get the training session with me and all those things. So very excited about this, launching this Monday. GoStrong.thenextfitnessthing.com. Okay, I think I've spent enough time plugging myself now. Now let's go to May the 4th Be With You 5K, which is launched and not too late for you to join. So we have the 5-week training program for that. We are nearing the end of week 1, but those classes are on the replay library. If you want to make those up, you can still join this challenge. Or training program, I should say. May the 4th, 5K.thenextfitnessthing.com. Yes, it is a sci-fi theme. You are welcome to show up on the day of the 5K on Saturday, May the 4th, or the bonus round with Kathy on Sunday, May the 5th. You can wear costumes to get in the spirit of this thing. And we have the training classes for that live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I get to do the Saturday ones on that one. And those are also recorded in case you can't make it live. So we have swag in this one too. We have a lot of advice and accountability for you. If you have never done a 5K before, you're welcome to join us. You can walk, you can jog, you can run, we don't care how you do your cardio, you're welcome to join us. And we hope to see you. So May the 4th, 5K.thenextfitnessthing.com. And then
I just want to jump in for 1 second and
yes, please do.
That the May the 4th Be With You is on Tuesday, Thursday, and
I know where you're going.
Go Strong Live Long is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's designed so you could do them both at the same time. And then they both have classes on Saturday, but they're one right after the other so that you will be able to do both of those programs at the same time, and they will work together very well. So just pointing that out.
Nice little puzzle between those two programs. All right. And then we got Kacey here. So Kacey's a big part of this too. So Kacey is joining the Next Fitness Thing as one of our team leaders. So the team leader thing is a new concept. There is Kacey on the left. There is Anna on the right, who is also in this category as well. Both Kacey and Anna are TNFT teammates who trained to be able to lead our walking classes at the Next Fitness Thing. So they're stepping up and filling some holes in our schedule. Then we're requested, hey, can we have a class here? Yeah, that'd be all right. Let's get some people in there. And these two are the first in the line to do this. And we're going to have more teammates as we go in this category. So look on our class schedule. If there's been a hole in the schedule where you're wishing there's a class, it might be filled now. And so check the schedule, check out Kacey. Anna, I think we're going to hope to have Anna with us next week as a guest if that all works out. So we'll get her side of this story as well. So yay, our teammate family is growing. Our team leader family is growing. We just started it. It just hatched.
Kacey, when's your classes? Let's
yes.
give you a chance to shout out. When do you
plug it?
Yeah, I have the walking class right now at 5:30 on Mondays. And if you guys have other openings that you're looking for, let us know, because I might be able to help out there.
Yeah, that's 5:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Pacific time.
Right.
Thank you. And yeah, just got to make it clear because we're headquartered in California, so we're working in Pacific time. But yes, so those of you on the East Coast who are looking for a little extra opportunity to work with us, we're happy to have you. And Kacey, what's your first class going to be?
The first one is on Monday.
This coming Monday.
This coming Monday. Yep.
Yeah.
I am thinking, by the way, so all of you who are live, let me know what you think. But I think we're set the tone off for the week on Mondays, and we'll talk a little bit about maybe having a recurring theme of doing some affirmations and setting some intentions for our week in our walk.
Nice. All right, Kacey, welcome. Nice. We are so stoked to have you on board with us. Thank you for everything.
We got RD Sharon B in the chat saying, yay, team leaders.
Yay. I saw Megan's in the chat too, right? Hi, Megan. Whoop, whoop. Give you the Pennsylvania whoop, whoop that I give all my Pennsylvania peeps.
And Aaron and Sharon B, so thanks you guys for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us live. Appreciate that. Quickly, we're going to dip into the food, go shopping with our TNFT food of the week. And we kind of, are seasonal about this. We try to practice anyway, eating seasonally and locally. So the food is the freshest and the highest quality and the most nutritious for you. Rhubarb is what we're going for this time. Now, rhubarb can be one of those polarizing foods. And for the first 40 years of my life, I'm going to say I would not touch rhubarb because it's like, ew, this is gross. But then I learned that if you cook it with something sweet, strawberries are the classic combination to go with rhubarb. Oh, that's like the sweet of those berries and the sour tart of the rhubarb offset each other really nicely. And I've made rhubarb strawberry like crisps and jams and things like that. And wow, so good. And there are some benefits to the rhubarb as well. We like to drop in the nutrition info. Not super rich in essential nutrients necessarily, but it is low in calories and high in fiber. And let's see, it's a very good source of vitamin K1, and that helps your blood clot. So if you cut yourself, vitamin K is very important for you. So among other things, and yes, a 3.5 ounce or 100 gram serving of cooked rhubarb with added sugar, actually. 116 calories. That's actually not too bad. And there are some low sugar recipes out there that you can whip up your rhubarb with. And I haven't gotten my first rhubarb of the season yet. I'm slacking, but maybe this weekend I'll head out to the farmer's market and get me some rhubarb because I miss it. I haven't had it in a while. So Kacey, rhubarb, yay or nay?
We were talking about this earlier. I actually don't know what it tastes like. So if it's no, I'm going to say nay.
Alexis, rhubarb, yay or nay?
I only had it for the first time last summer, and I am a fan. Count me in for rhubarb. Yes.
All right, I'll have you over for some strawberry rhubarb crisps one time. All right, that is a wrap for episode. What is this? Episode number 13. Lucky 13. We got past it, and no bad luck. Yay! All right, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody who's with us live. Everybody checking in on the recorded version as well, and of course, got to do the housekeeping one more time. So please like our materials, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share our videos with those who you think might get something out of them. And the more eyes and ears on us, the better to help us grow and get our philosophy of health and wellness and self-love and all those things out into the world. And if you have not yet joined us for a workout, we would love for you to do so. At thenextfitnessthing.com, we have a membership as little as $1 a year for our trial membership. Not too shabby. You get a lot of classes for that $1. And the link for that is in our show notes as well, if you want to check that out. And I think that's it. We can get a high five and get it on out of here. Yeah, hands up. Boom, there it is. All right, cue the team. Let's get on out of here for the weekend, team. I got to dance. Where's my tunes? Don't make me start singing myself. There it is. All right. Yeah, dance party. Those of you who were with me live, about 2.5 hours from now, I'll look for you in class. All right, take care. Peace out. See you next time. Bye-bye.